Why, hello and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I'm your host and guide, Zollin Ironshield, and today I have a little fun one, being efficient in combat and auto resets for like auto attacking. Okay, so there's some efficient ways you can do stuff as a melee class. This is also a little bit applicable to mages and stuff, also in Lord of the Rings Online, but I want to do a real quick one where I'm in a place where there's a lot of mobs that I can fight, and I want to talk about it a little and give you a little bit of thought patterns of this stuff. It's really good. Every LOTRO player should kind of know this, but it's something that's kind of hard to teach through speech, but I will do my best to show you and then tell you my ideas. Then you're going to take these and go and practice whatever race you're playing, or class, and I am playing a Guardian today. Guardians, this is very applicable to champions, burglars. This is also good for some of the other ones like wardens and captains, but really good for people that really hit really fast and do a lot of stuff. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about real quick today. I hope this helps you out. If it does, don't forget to like and subscribe. I earned it, and let's talk about it as we go. Okay, so the first thing I talk about is using your hands, right? Both hands at the same time. So you have a mouse, you have a keyboard when you play Lord of the Rings Online, right? Or any kind of MMO usually, but this is applicable to other MMOs too, but this is mainly for LOTRO. So when you're fighting creatures, and multiple creatures, mind you, you need to be switching through them. So one thing, again, remember, if you're a longtime player, you know this, control will actually switch you through the closest targets. As you click control, it'll switch you through. Of course, you can also left click or right click to target an enemy, right, as well. Excuse me, did I say control? I meant tab. Tab is what you're gonna press to cycle through enemies as you fight. All right, so now here's what I wanna talk about. The main part is, there's things you have to think about, like for Guardians, we have different levels of activation. We do a parry, we can use retaliation, and then we get the option of 3 other skills, and then when we use one of those, we get the option to use, to the king. That's a thing too on champions a little bit and burglars, but more so on Guardians. But what I want to talk about is when I'm autoing, so you have your generic auto. I'm not doing anything, right? My character's just autoing. That's a speedy auto. Boop, boop, boop. But what if you want to increase that speed? Well, there's some skills on all characters, but especially on the Guardian that I have, to make it more efficient and to do more DPS or damage per second faster, okay? So if I'm attacking this guy, for example, I'll hit him with my arrow. When I'm autoing between autos, some fast ones I have, and this is what you'll have to learn as you play, what have fast animations, right? And animation cancellation is what we're trying to do here, right? So retaliation and improved sting are fast. So when I'm autoing and stuff, I can do an auto, this retaliation. Look, did you see how many hits he just got all within a half a second? Watch their health bars above their head, okay? So AoE, and boom, 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 boom. Did you see he got hit by like 4 abilities in like less than a second? That's because I know my animation cancellations. What is my fastest skills? And Sting will actually cancel an animation. So for example, if you're mid auto attack and right when your auto hits, if you click Sting, your character will immediately use Sting. It'll be like, there's like, normally you go tink, tink with an auto, right? But if you put Sting in between, you go tink, tink, tink. Now you've gotten 3 skills and you basically fit another skill in your normal attack period, right? So that's what I'm talking about today, right? So this is help you in combat. This can help you in PvP. This can help you in a dungeon, dish out more DPS. You just have to know your cooldowns, know your abilities, and this really, again, it is something you're gonna have to learn to be really efficient with it, but hopefully this will give you the idea to start learning how to do that, okay? So again, watch me play a little bit, okay? So ready, I'm gonna do Guardian's Ward. Now, I like to click on my abilities. Some people like to use the 1, 2, 3, control 1, 2, 3 to use your abilities. I prefer to use my left hand to move around, my mouse to click my abilities, and then occasionally click targets, and I like to use tab to switch through targets. So for example, if I fight a group, let me grab a group of these guys, okay? Come on guys, come on, I need you for practice. All right, so I have my ability, I'm gonna AoE because I have something on to stun them all. So now they're all stunned, and now I'm gonna start doing AoE damage and the most efficient way, and if I kill someone, I'm gonna switch immediately with control. You notice I didn't click them with my, did you see how I instantly triggered to that other unit? So you can see I was AoEing, so I was hitting everyone with my AoE ability. But the person I was targeting died, and I instantly switched targets. That wasn't because I took my mouse and clicked on him, because I think that's actually slower. I hit tab the moment that guy died, and it instantly switched my targeting, okay? So that's the kind of stuff you need to think about when you're playing this game, when you're getting to higher level of play. Again, this game isn't super complicated for early, and Guardian is actually a very low difficulty class, which I agree with because they say that when you make the character, but I would say that you can get to a much higher ability if you know these animation cancellations, as I'd like to say. It kind of sounds like a nice little rhyme, huh? Animation cancellations, right? For your auto attacks. Again, as you can see here, you see how many things I hit him with so fast? That was because I went Guardian's Ward, I parried, And so I use sting into different abilities. So it really just matters. And there's a timing to everything too. So again, this guy's too low. I need more targets. I need more orcs to kill. All right, let's run down here. I'll grab some down here. All right, so grab this guy, come with me. I need you guys down here. Okay, so I'm gonna bring him down here. All right, so ready? I'm gonna use Guardian's War, because it's only good one to start with, gives me defenses. And then I'm gonna do my AoE into stab, and switch targets immediately, use retaliation. I can't even speak it fast enough. Thrust, switch targets immediately. I can't even tell you, I can't literally speak the words fast enough of the abilities to the speed I just did that. So I just used like 9 abilities in what, like 3 seconds? Again, that was because I know the cancellations and the timers on these like heart. I've been playing this game a long time. It's something you can learn too, though. Again, that is why I'm making this video for you, okay? This guide video. Again, now another good one for Guardians, I like a combo for me, is opening into stagger. And opening with, when you're traded right, when you use force opening, it immediately opens retaliation. So you go retaliation, auto, sting, ward, Guardian's Ward, boom, you just dash out so much damage. Again, if I pull a big group, I like to turn on my run speed, knock them all down with maybe spin, right? I killed that guy. WW switch. Thrust is a good one to throw in there if you're trying to get bleeds off. And then you want to immediately do to the king. Again, I need some stronger targets for this. These guys are almost on my level and they're still dying too fast. Boom, 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 boom. Do you see how many abilities I just hit him with? My yellow abilities, and then I'm gonna use to the king. That's a very slow ability, but it hits very hard. So, and again, remember, you can move while you're doing things like that. So if you're in PvP, for example, if you're fighting someone in PvP, right? So I'm gonna use sting, jump, gonna use overwhelm, switch targets into this, dodge while I'm aiming at him, right? See, I'm just jumping around him. That's really good in PvP. If you're playing against other players, you will mess people up if you're a melee character that can jump around like that. And remember, you have to be facing the target. So if you notice, I never stopped facing the target. I was using, to make it smoother for you, I was holding my mouse down while I did this. If you want to know about movements and stuff, I have a whole guide video on that. But again, this is something to think about though in combat. So, and there's also, of course, your other abilities too. Those are my fast abilities, right? Now my heavy damage abilities, I can dish these out real quick because these guys aren't too strong. But if I was trying to dish a lot of damage out, I would go with force open into retaliation, thrust or overwhelm, right? Into my to the king. And then I'd probably throw down, if they're lower health, my brutal assault, and then probably hammer down if they're not already dead, right? I'm just trying to dish out damage. Again, these guys are a little bit too weak. So I'm gonna pull a bunch of guys and I want you guys to watch my abilities while I go, okay? I'm gonna try not to speak it because it's really hard to speak that fast, that abilities. I will do my best to give you kind of what my thought pattern is, okay? So I need a bunch of enemies. So here we go. Here's a bunch of enemies. Come at me, guys. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna immediately do this opening cut, the cut of them, and I'm gonna do return retaliation because it's an AoE. Guardian's Pledge, Vexing Blow, AoE, retaliation, thrust, right? All right, sting, to the king. I'm gonna use hammer down on that guy because it's very fast. You can instantly cast hammer down. It's a fast ability. Long cooldown though. Open, this one. I'm gonna bring all these guys into combat. All right. Overwhelm does a lot of damage. I one-shot that guy, right? All right. Guardian's Pledge to the king, right? Force open. I can do a force taunt. I can use my deep breath. I'm getting low in health, right? Again, damage. Boom, boom, boom. And then to the king's a good finisher. And again, here's my reset. Ready? Sting, retaliation, sting. Did you see how I hit him like 4 times in like a half second? Okay, so again, you need to know what abilities, test them. What abilities are really fast? What abilities cancel your animation, as in your auto attack or another ability? So for example, if you use Return of the King and immediately have Sting ready, Return of the King will go off and then your character will like immediately cast Sting and then go for an auto. Or you could have another thing lined up. And you can line abilities up. They will actually, it'll help you by holding an ability, right? Over. So watch this, watch. So when I'm fighting this guy, if I click 2 abilities at once, you see how this one's glowing and it immediately casts? I can actually line them up in what I want to do next, the next ability. So if you notice, as I'm doing this, right? So green means it's activating, yellow means it's waiting, right? See, it's waiting to use Sting, boom, and instantly use Sting right after my auto. And again, if you're right clicked on the target, you're always going to auto the target, right? So again, the animation cancellation, you can do an ability into an auto, into an immediate cancellation, into another auto, right? So again, ability into auto, into immediate cancellation. But he died, so it makes it kind of hard to keep showing you. They're dying. So let's get more targets. Again, as you can see, I'm dishing out a lot of damage really quick. So again, Guardian's Thing into auto, stab, switch targets immediately. Boom, boom, boom. you hear that sound? Did you hear that? Like, boom, boom, boom. That's my ability hitting multiple times. Did you hear it? Did you hear that sound? That's me literally making an animation, basically, cancellation with Sting. Sting and Retaliation are the best ones for that. They're really fast. Sting is really, really good. I almost got myself killed because I was focusing on explaining that and not fighting them. But that is the stuff you need to think about with the animation cancellation and stuff. So anyway, I hope that helps you out. Again, this is something kind of hard to teach for every class because it really comes down to you playing, knowing what moves cancel, because it's almost a feel, right? Again, I can tell you which ones are fast, right? Hammer Down's a very quick ability for Guardians. Improved Sting, Retaliation. I could do some other videos to show you different guides on different chains, right? And again, I do have chaining meaning how I combat, how I fight. Well, like, what is my favorite chain of abilities, basically chain of abilities to use over and over, and I just loop them, right? And which ones that I have fast cooldowns, and I'll occasionally adjust to add something in, like a debuff or something to remove a damage on me, or a heal, or an extra big damage thing if I'm having a stall in my animations because something's on cooldown. So I use a different ability to kind of fill in the time gap, because you don't want to be sitting there where your character's not doing anything for a whole second and he's only landing on auto occasionally. You don't want to do that, especially if you're in a raid, especially if you're in PvP. You want your character to be dishing out damage as fast as physically possible, which again, if you do your things right, if you do them right, ready, and if you notice something interesting, Force Open really has a very long animation, and it kind of forces you to wait an entire like half second after you cast it. So the only reason you really use that usually is it does immediately, if you're traded right, give you a parry response. So what you can do is you can use it to open, and then you can auto and immediately do Retaliation, stab, boom, boom, bang, right, and do a couple abilities on him. And then again, thrust into Sting, into Tread the King, would have killed him instantly, right? You could dash these out so fast. And again, this is relevant to every character. You really just have to play the character, learn the timing, the cooldowns on your abilities, right? Cooldowns are important to know your abilities. I'm not even thinking, I'm just talking to you, and I just did that. See how fast I did that? You learn the abilities, have them on where you're gonna have to learn where they are. So if you're someone that uses 1, 2, 3, 4 to activate your abilities or you're targeted, then you're gonna need to learn that, where you want them, get used to it, right? That kind of stuff. Make your abilities, make them work for you, okay? Make them work for you, put them where you want. You can move stuff around. I have a whole video on moving UIs and saving UIs if you need that. But anyway, my friends, I hope that helps you guys out. I think that's probably a pretty good subject. Again, I might make some more in the future. Would you like some more videos like this of other characters? Would you like some videos on rotations of skills that I use in combat for Guardians or for other classes that I play? Again, I don't play every class all the time. I've played every class, but I don't play them all the time. Guardians, I know everything by heart. Like, I play them so much. So it's very easy for me to have these like muscle memory of what I use to do rotations. But anyway, I hope that helped you guys out. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day in Middle Earth. Thank you to my wonderful Patreons. So anyway, I hope this helped you out to be a little efficient, being efficient with your fighting and how fast you can kill things like this guy. Ready? And we're gonna do this one into this, into an opening, right? And staggers a fast one. You can immediately use that. Overwhelm and dead. All right, and that guy had 500,000 health, and he's a now dead boy. So you guys have a great day. Thanks to my Patrons. Subscribe button's there if I earned it. If you want more content like this with guides, guide videos are up there, and my next one, and LOTRO Tail, my main content's over there. Check them all out and have a wonderful day in Middle Earth. See you guys.